Hello and welcome to Sports by Compian. I am, of course, Stephen Compian, and we are rejoined by our magical co-host, Cory. Motherfucking Compian's back in the house. Let's go! Let's go!
I've returned.
He has returned from his travels, from his, being attacked by doctors, all kinds of adventures. Our young Cory Compian. All kinds of adventures.
I fought legions of doctors. They came out of the woodwork, and I fought them with my bare hands.
With his bare hands. With his hands.
My bare hands.
But he has come out on the other side a victorious Compian, and he has graced us with yet another presence here on Sports by Compian. Thank you, Cory. Good to see you, friend.
Thank you, Steven. It's good to be back after my many travels to the Euroland.
As you can see in this third quarter here, we have some very fantastic women's rugby that's been going on, Cory. I'm sure you knew about this. The World Cup kicked off.
I was well aware full time.
October 7th is when the World Cup kicked off for women. And, of course, I knew about this, Cory, and was well informed. It wasn't because I was on YouTube and saw Squiddage Rugby putting out like 3 different videos about the World Cup, Women's World Cup. I was like, oh, what up, Squiddage Rugby? There's a World Cup going on? Shit. They're apparently supposed to do this shit last year, so we're not totally to blame for this, Cory. They're literally calling it Women's World Cup 2021. Nice. Most of the advertisement just shows the 2021 banner still.
Well, that makes sense because when you said they're delayed a year, I was like, does that mean that they're going to do it again in 3 years? Because if it's a World Cup, it has to be every 4 years. So it makes sense that they would still call it 2021.
And is this number 3 or 4, Cory?
Oh, like this has only been around a few titimes.
Oh yeah, no, this is super new.
Oh, interesting.
Women's.
What happened in the Men's World Cup? Is that still kicking around?
Hang on. World Cup. How many women rugby World Cups have there been? New Zealand's won them all. 5.
You, New Zealand.
Yeah, of course. So,
5.
yeah,
So this is number 5 or this is number 6?
This is number 6.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
World Cup number 6.
You know what? Fact checkers out there, or one viewer, I don't think they're going to fact check us. But this is what Sports by Copy is saying. This is number 6. Yeah, so anyway, New Zealand.
Look at fucking New Zealand, 41-17. Yeah, they're probably going to win this one too.
It's likely. But anyway, let's go through this, Cory. So England is also a pretty good, powerful team in this whole thing. As you can see, they handle Fiji. France is also a good contender, handled South Africa. New Zealand with a strong performance. Italy over U.S. This is the game that we actually watched. So this one, U.S. team goes ahead and steals a kickoff right away, dude. Like right away, they stole kickoff. Just pounded it, and scored. They're up 5-0. It's looking good. The U.S. team is all happy. You know what's interesting about this is, so Rockford Ravens, Division III rugby, we're a bunch of noobs. Meaning noobs all the time we play. I, myself, am a noob. I'm like 5-6 years into this shit. Still, we're learning all kinds of stuff about rugby all the time. Anyway, my point is, one of our guys was like, dude, we should have our guys be watching women's rugby instead of guys rugby because women's rugby is just fundamental, just tackles, fucking short balls, just taking into I don't know, fundamental rugby as he described it. Like, we don't need to be seeing these South Africans, these Australians just fucking flying around the field, doing crazy offloads and stuff. Like, no, dude. You're trying to learn how to catch the ball and go to contact right now. You don't need to be watching all these crazy motherfuckers who've been doing this since they were fucking 8 years old. Go watch some fundamental rugby. So anyway, that's what this game was, bro. I was watching Italy versus the U.S. and I was stretching while doing this too. The U.S. the guys' games will draw your attention back to the screen. This one was hard to watch, bro. Like it was just like pounding. Like every time I looked up, like it seemed like the U.S. kind of had the ball. They were just pounding against the Italian line, going nowhere, Cory. Just stout defense from these Italians all night. I mean, all day. It was pretty crazy. And then I think going into halftime. As you can see, there's not great coverage about it. I think it was 5-3 going into halftime. The Italians had a couple kicks. Second half.
Well, also, I imagine the Italians must have had really impaired communications, right?
What do you mean?
because like they have to talk with their hands, but when you're playing rugby, your hands are engaged in other stuff. So how are they
And you
communicating
know what's
if like
hilarious?
50% of it?
Dude,
Like, how do you make calls when you can't talk with your hands?
they're supposed to be catching to it, so they're like, throw me the ball. Oh, here it is. Oh. Dude, I actually
No.
saw like one of their girls like giving a pep talk, and no bullshit, she was like, "Listen, the girls, we need to get it together."
Dude, I saw this locker room of Italy, and it's like the camera's panning across the team, and you just see the entire team doing this, and it's like there's a counter going up for each Italian hand, and like in like a 3 second clip going across, there's like a 30 count.
Oh, I love
Like
it.
it's funny to say, but it's true. Italians they talk with their hands.
It's pretty funny, but these Italians, they were used to using their hands, I guess, because they were good at tackling. Man, they didn't miss many tackles. Whereas I don't know if this was the story of the whole game or if it was just the second half, but I remember watching a stat kind of once this Italian team had pulled away. Dude, you know what? Bottom line to them is they were hitting gaps good. They had a wing just rip through the fucking heart of that U.S. defense, and like that would have been a hard tackle to make. And you know what's funny is I was watching that Friday, and like I watched a forward miss that tackle, and I was like, "Ah, girl, that was you. You got to make that happen." I mean, a couple people missed this tackle, multiple people actually. But anyway, this forward in particular, I remember her just like watching her miss it like up the heart, and I was like, "That's ridiculous." Guess what happened to me yesterday, Core? Some fast little motherfucker ripped through the heart of the Rockford Ravens defense, and I missed that tackle, sir. So maybe that's just fucking karma. Anyway, I watched this girl just rip through there. That was the story of the Italian team. Is like they didn't have the ball much, but when they did, they were moving it well amongst each other. Good passes, good lines, and their wings were fucking hitting the gaps. Their two wings and their 15 were fast, dude. Those backline girls were moving. Um, so yeah, it's just sometimes it just outran those U.S. girls, but it came down to like 28 missed tackles. I don't know if it was just this must have just been the second half for the women's team. No, that had to have been the whole game. Anyway, the U.S. team had 28 missed tackles, whereas the Italians had like 4 or 5. And then like line breaks, the U.S. team had 2 line breaks, whereas the Italians had 8. So just taking advantage of their possessions and using it better than the U.S. team was. Either way, the U.S. team hung into this game like for most of it. Like the score's a little deceiving of like the overall hustle of this game, but it was pretty close for most of the game. It sort of got away the last 60ish minutes or so, but good hustle between these two. This is an interesting group. This Group
It
A.
was kind of like an arm wrestle thing where the States was putting pressure the whole time, and Italy just survived, and then last second brought it home.
Sort of like this countering, yeah. You could describe it as like a boxer just going at them the whole time, and like, yeah, you maybe have had possession, you may have been attacking the whole time, but Italy just used their advantages better, you know. But as I predicted, the women's team would rally against Japan, Corey, and we just saw the highlights of this one. But overall, bro, I mean, it's harsh to say, but the Japan girls just look smaller out there. Like you just saw some of them just bouncing off these big U.S. Fucking forwards. It's like, yep, could see it. They're yay high, bro. They're like here, you know. Like who are you gonna tackle when you're that small? You
Is
know,
um
I don't
is the
think I.
mids team for Japan good? Well, they have like a bunch of
They're
like
very good.
Islanders, right?
They played actually pretty good because they were hosting the World Cup last time, and they actually went pretty deep into it. They're not bad. They're not bad, but they're not one of the better teams. That's for sure.
That's what I was gonna ask. So the men's World Cup just passed, right?
That was 2019, so there's another one coming next year, 2023.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
fair enough.
All right, but anyway, so moving through here are some other scores. Obviously, we got the New Zealand dominating. So yeah, U.S. team loses that one. Canada is, according to Ren Felton, she believes this is the team that may have a chance against New Zealand. So anyway, 41-5 over Japan, asserting their dominance, if you will. A clip was sent from our coach to the group chat, which is probably what first brought my awareness to this World Cup, Corey, was Wales versus Scotland. This final phase, Wales, this is what our coach sent us. Wales has the ball for probably 14 phases. So for people who aren't super familiar with rugby, what that means is you're basically taking the ball into contact, setting the ruck, not losing it. Okay, I guess we'll just take the ball into contact again. All right, pass it out to this guy. Shit, that didn't work. All right, let's pass it out to this guy now. All right, you go to. Oh, shit, that didn't work. All right, now pass it out to the back line. Let's let them play around out there. All right, well, that didn't work either. But anyway. All right, let's come back this way. So basically, you're just maintaining the ball on offense. And then eventually, the Scottish defense made a mistake. They're already deep into the Scottish territory, so they were able to have a kick. Won by 3 points.
So they held them for 14 contacts in a row. Like they lost 14 rucks.
Yeah, something like 14 phases is what I wasn't describing that well, but what the Welsh were basically maintained the ball for about 14 to 15 phases. I forget the exact number. It might have been in the 20s actually, dude. It was ridiculous. Like they held the ball. Like the clip was 6 minutes long, and it was just the Welsh on offense, just fucking hammering this poor Scottish defense until they finally made a mistake, and then the Welsh kicked it through and won.
Dude, this is like, it's so, it's ridiculous how, looking at these teams, you got Wales, Scotland, England. Like, who didn't make it? Is Ireland in here?
Ireland isn't in here, and they're actually really good. Their men's team is really good. So
this is clearly just like a UK sport. It's like UK, the rest of the world is like, hey, we're your colonies. We want to play too.
Well, New Zealand, one of their colonies, dominates the sport. So yeah, it's
Australia's here. The States is here. Canada's here.
Right. So it's basically just the UK and their colonies, and then like anybody.
India didn't make it. Well, I guess India just got stuck on cricket.
Fiji wandered in here, as you can see, one of their colonies. Never mind, foolish me. I mean, Japan's trying to be involved. They're not really a colony.
But so, like, the only colony that didn't make it here is basically India. That's because they're too caught up with cricket.
And Ireland. Yeah, India.
And Ireland.
There's no. I don't even know what the men's Italian. I don't even know if India has a rugby team. They probably do actually. Anyway,
it's funny how it's such a uniquely UK thing.
Kind of weird. Now that you point that out, like we were going through those teams, it's kind of crazy, and then it's just like the Southern Hemisphere, which is arguably the UK anyway. So yeah.
Yeah, like I think that one, what was that, South Africa? They were also kind of a colony at one point.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of white guys over there, so that makes sense.
Yeah, well, I mean, they were mostly Dutch. I think they're mostly a Dutch colony, but England definitely had its hand in there.
That checks out. Isn't it funny? Look at Scotland losing again by 2 points. So they lost by 3, and then they lost by 2. Harsh time for the Scots.
Heartbreaking time to be the Scotland, man.
Yeah, jeez. And then, all right, so this was a big game. This happened yesterday, England and France. As you can see, just an absolute defensive battle that England came out on top of. Canada, like Ren was saying, team to beat over here put down Italy, the team that put down the U.S. So it looks like Canada might come out of that group. It's going to be hard. It's going to be an uphill battle for the U.S. They're going to have to win out and hope that Italy maybe loses one, because if not, I think only 2 teams come out of each group. We got New Zealand just absolutely demolished the Welsh last night. The Welsh actually scored at one point of the half. It was like 22-7. But, they were out there. They tried to play some rugby with those New Zealand girls. It's very hard, Cory. I don't know if you know this about the New Zealand, but they're pretty good at rugby.
No way.
Yeah, I think they sort of invented it or something. Anyway, Fiji pulls out a victory over South Africa. That's a good rally game for the girls after getting absolutely demolished by England. So we're going to pick up the action again on Friday, and we'll get more games. Look at this, U.S. versus Canada. So this is a huge one for the U.S. If they have any chance of getting out of this group, they're probably going to have to win this game. Against the Canadian group that's undefeated and has already beaten the team that beat them and put a whooping on Japan.
Australia.
No,
or Japan.
Yeah. So, interesting times to be still had here in the Rugby Times. We also have a quick update on the Rockford Ravens, who wrapped up our season yesterday at the Blaze, Chicago.
The Blaze!
Only 16 of the boys were able to make it, and one of them was actually a old boy who sort of just came out of retirement because he's going to be playing in Scotland. He was like, yeah, I sort of need a warm-up game before Scotland, so I'm down. Brian Thor, I played with him about 3 years ago. Really good back. Thanks for stepping in, bud. We fucking needed him because guess what? Our rookie TK, we started. I could be wrong about these numbers, but I think we started like 5 fucking rookies yesterday, and then like 2, and we had like another 2 guys playing that were like really new to the team, still like a year or so. Not, it was a skeleton crew, not even an experienced skeleton crew that we rolled down there to Chicago Blaze with, dude. So we kind of got our ass kicked. I mean, it was 14-56, but considering how we lost 50-21 at home last week with like 22 guys on the sidelines, I'm not mad at the performance by the boys. Like, there was some fight with us. We fucking, this was a really good team. Like Chicago Blades, dude, they have this sick clubhouse. Like they got like 30, they get like 60 guys at practice every fucking practice. We're showing up practicing with 8 guys. You know what I mean? So it's like there's levels to this shit.
Yeah.
I'm actually pretty proud of our performance showing up there and not getting our fucking teeth kicked in. Like fucking Jeremiah played a hell of a game. Dude was flying all
So
over the field. Sorry, go ahead.
how long have the Rockford Ravens been around for?
76.
Since 76?
Yes, sir. This
What
is
the
a
fuck?
well-established rugby club over here.
Okay, because I was gonna say like 8 people show up to practice. That's kind of like, oh yeah, we're about to pack it in and call it a day. But
Like I said,
at
dude, there's a lot of excuses and a lot of When I got here about 5 years ago, it was kind of the changing of the guard, and let me tell you, they weren't ready for it, which happens. You know, there was just a lot of guys were retiring, having babies, and there wasn't really just a lot of guys to pick it up after that, and it's been rough retaining over these last 5 years. It's been a revolving door. You know, that's partly on us, partly on just where this city is, partly on it's a pretty interesting sport, dude. Like, not a lot of people want to go play rugby. Like, trust me, I try to recruit all the time at the gym. It ain't easy. All that to say, your boy's taking over some things with the Rockford Ravens, so some things are going to be changing. But as it stands right now, man, I hope not to be showing up to any more games with 16 guys. And then losing one of our rookies 22 minutes in. So fucking Brian had to come in. Never played a day of hooker in his life either. Played hooker the whole rest of the game for us. So God bless him. But yeah, Jeremiah had a fucking hell of a game. Was just fucking flying up on them on defense all day. At the very end, dude, he had this counter ruck steal where he literally just grabbed this old man, just pulled him back with him until they called the penalty. And quickly, Taylor just immediately snatched the ball from him and went quick and scored, and that's how the game ended. So it was nice to be able to get one more try before we ended. But we gave player of the match to Jeremiah, who just, much like in the Peoria game, and honestly all season long, all year long, this kid's hitting his label. He's starting to be an impact player, man. It's cool to see. Yeah, he's been playing apparently one season less than me, but I've been playing with him for a while now, and it's cool to see him come into his own. And it's had a good time too. The shout out to the rookies who started with us, man. We got Carson started. We had Tom McHattie started. George McHattie's little brother, who couldn't be there Saturday. We had TK start, like I mentioned, who got injured. And we had fucking Adam, our new guy for us. Very excited to see what Adam can add to this offense. Very fast. We started him at outside center yesterday, and I think he did okay, you know, getting his feet wet for sure. Who's that fifth rookie? Oh, Nolan. Nolan out there in the back line. Good lad. He had a nice offload on a try that led to a try yesterday. So shout out to the rookies, man. I'm really excited about what they're going to bring and what they're going to do. We're building this team with basically new guys. So, you know, retention is going to be critical, and I hope they stay around because they're good and they're going to continue to grow in their rugby sport. Cory, your Dallas Cowboys are absolutely dominating. But
how about them Cowboys?
Before we get into that, though, don't you think this is an opportune time to talk about our non-sponsor sponsor?
Of course, of course. All right, am I doing it or are you doing it?
I'll go. Gatorade. For when you're out there drinking a lot of alcohol and maybe you want something to recover the next day with, Gatorade's there for you. Or maybe, Cory,
Sure is.
you're an athlete who takes your life seriously and you just need to be out there at your best. Gatorade is there for you. Or maybe, Cory, you're a salesman. Or, a sales boat guy. Like, you're out there, like, on the ocean, you know, like, sailing.
Sailboat guy. Yep,
Like,
sailor.
you're going to be thirsty, dude. The sun's hot out there. Guess who's there for you? Gatorade.
Gatorade.
That's right, Cory. When your friends don't text you back, when they don't answer, whenever you just can't hang out with anybody that day, Gatorade will always be there for you.
Gatorade's there for you at your most vulnerable.
Gatorade. Get after it. Anyway, moving on here with our NFL picks and such. Yeah, you guys are gonna get picks from the boys as these Dallas Cowboys go into their biggest game of the season against the Philadelphia Eagles, who also happen to be undefeated. Cory, this was a division that people were talking piles of shit about going into the season, and now they are arguably with the best division in football, with the Giants looking good. with the Philadelphia Eagles being undefeated. Dallas Cowboys are 4-1 without Dak Prescott. What do you have to say about all this?
Well, first off, I would like to say I saw on Instagram today that the Cowboys are plus 6.5, like, to win. So I was like, or no, they were negative 6.5. Like, you get 6.5 times your money if you bet on them. And I was like, well, that's fucking
Wait,
amazing. Why wouldn't
650? Are you
like
serious?
six point five?
I
I'm
think you're
pretty sure
saying you're saying
how that works.
underdog.
I don't bet,
No,
but
no,
I
but,
saw.
no. So if they're plus 6.5, that just means that they can't. If as long as they don't lose, like so, if they lose by
By a touchdown. If they lose by a
yeah,
field goal, you
yeah.
still win the bet.
Correct.
Okay,
So it's not necessarily you're gonna get all 600 of your. No, you're not gonna get 6 times your money. But they're saying
all
that
right,
they're basically predicting that the Eagles are gonna win by more than a touchdown, I guess, or less than a
gotcha.
touchdown, something like that.
Still though, that's a pretty good deal.
Not bad.
Like,
I mean, but it is only a touchdown though.
yeah,
No,
but
yeah, that is the thing. They can't lose.
if they win by a field goal, then like
Then
we're
you win.
good.
Correct.
Yeah.
But then you got to
So
believe
I
it's going to
saw
be a
that
close
and I was
game.
like, why wouldn't you take that?
Because I think there's people who are still doubting that the Cowboys are for real, whereas Philly
Yeah.
has kind of proven themselves a little bit. So they're definitely you can understand how Vegas is going for the proven team here.
Yeah. But also like my man Rush, he's doing well. Like he's out here with like a great QBR. He's like the first guy in a million years to win his first 5 starts. Like he's doing some stuff. We're probably going to lose him next year just because some quarterback needy team is going to be like, well, we'll give us that guy. So we're kind
And
of
you
just
just paid Dak.
enjoying. It's what?
And you just paid Dak, so it's like it's
And we just paid Dak. Yeah, it's not like we can pay him to be a backup. Like we're enjoying the time we have with him this season, and then he'll move along. And good for him. You want everyone to go have a successful career and get paid. I'm just glad he was here to be the
absolutely.
stopgap for us this year. So I'm happy with. I think everybody wins in this scenario. Unless he goes to like the Commanders, and then we have to face him, twice a year. Then that would kind of suck. But um, as long as he goes out of division, I'm happy. I want to see Rush succeed. Um, but I am excited to see Dak come back and see what he can do with this team now that everyone's kind of hit their groove. Now we have Michael Gallup back. I think we got Schultz back as well. Like now that we have our offensive weapons, the line is doing a lot better than I thought they'd be doing. I'm interested to see what the QB1 can do with that. And I don't know. I don't really know how this game with Philly is going to go. To be honest, I haven't been able to see any games since Dak got hurt because I was away in the wicked world, and I basically just would see the highlights on YouTube because these games were happening for me at like 4 o'clock in the morning. So I definitely didn't see any of them.
No,
But
that's not possible.
yeah. But so this will probably be the first game I'm actually able to see for a while, or first time in a while. So I'm excited to see how it goes.
Yeah, it should be a good one. They put it on Sunday Night Football, of course. The Cowboys love Sunday Night Football. I think Sunday Night Football and the Cowboys are just synonymous. Is that the right wording? It seems like it is.
Anonymous? I think so.
Yeah.
I think it's because they're a team that everybody knows. Everybody either loves them or hates them.
Right.
It's not like you throw the Bears up there. Like no one really has strong opinions about the Bears unless they're in your division.
Wrong team to use there. They throw the Bears there all the time, actually, and they are an historic team. So people do have strong feelings about the Bears. I would use something like Jacksonville. They don't
Jacksonville or like the Falcons.
Since I've been watching football, Jacksonville's probably been on Sunday Night Football for 1 or 2 times. All right, not that serious, but you get the picture.
Yeah.
Those poor bastards barely make it on. And honestly, the Buccaneers haven't ever really make it on to Sunday Night Football until Brady came to us. So, and you know what? For good reason. It's not like either of these two teams were winning. Bucks sucked. Jacksonville sucked. Why would you put them on Sunday Night Football? And they're irrelevant and they're small market teams.
Dude, what's brutal is the last 2 Thursday Night Football games. Like the memes have been so relentless about these games, dude.
Well, how could they have had there's no way the NFL or anybody could have predicted 2 terrible games in a row. But man,
yeah,
I'm not watching because I don't watch games that aren't the Buccaneers, which is kind of bad. I probably should because we have this podcast, but you get it.
But yeah, man, like you would hope that at least people would like cut loose and just get a couple deep passes, get some touchdowns. But no, it's like just field goals. Like I think at one point, the Bears threw a touchdown, and they're like, "This is the first touchdown in 40 possessions on Thursday Night Football." Like there were 40 possessions on sorry Thursday Night Football without a touchdown up until that touchdown. And I was like, wow,
A
that's a
lot.
lot of really bad Thursday Night Football.
Some bad football.
Or really good defense, I guess. But like, you know,
Sounds like some bad
two.
football though.
Yeah, I think so. It's tough, man. Tough stuff.
Anyway, Corey, what are you predicting here for your Cowboys? We taking them at they're at the Eagles.
I gotta say yes.
Yeah,
I mean,
you got it.
yeah,
You're,
I gotta.
you're a Cowboys fan. You got to.
Exactly, you gotta.
All
It's
right.
gonna be a tough game, but I'm taking the Cowboys.
So we'll work backwards from there and check out. Well, we're gonna go front and then we're gonna go back. But we got Denver at Los Angeles. I think
Chargers.
Sports by Compian is definitely taking the Chargers, right?
Yeah, no, until Russell Wilson discovers football again, like there's no way.
Absolutely. No, yeah, I think this is an easy pick for us here.
Even with my man out there, with his cracked ribs, he's still gonna make it happen.
Oh
He
yeah.
just, as long as that one doctor who took out, oh, fuck, what was his name?
Tired. Fuck.
That we all know who we're
We
talking about. The
all
dude
know
who
who
got
we're
his
talking
his
about.
lungs
The
punctured.
dude, yeah. Tyrod, no.
He's at he went to the Dolphins and just got a concussion.
No, no, you're thinking of Teddy Bridgewater. That's not who.
Oh, right,
But yeah,
okay.
dude, what is it with Teddy Bridgewater? That guy's always getting banged up. Poor bastard, man. Like, Jesus, dude, you barely hopped in there as a backup and you're already hurt? Fuck, dude.
Yeah, it's rough.
Dude, it's on the tip of my head and it bothers me, but whatever. It may come to us later. Anyway, Corey, we got a fucking dandy with the Buffalo Bills going over to visit the Kansas City Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes is playing like a psychopath right now. The fucking shit he did against the Bucks was just not right. It wasn't good Christian behavior, Corey. It's not right. He should knock it off. Like, look at some of these passes he's making. He's playing on another level right
Where
now.
he's like getting knocked out. He's like, it's fine. I'm just gonna throw this absolute
That
dime of
touchdown
a fucking ball.
the touchdown he did, the little weird toss thing that he had against the Buccaneers, I was just like, what is going on? What the fuck? Are we just in Patrick Mahomes' simulation and that's why, let's not paying much attention to anybody else? It's like, we're so focused on Patrick. It's so calm. But anyway, his boy Josh is coming over to try to crash the party there in Kansas City. What do you think is going to
Steven,
happen?
I looked it up. Tyrod Taylor was the name we were looking for.
Oh, thank you.
The Chargers guy that got his lung
Yeah,
punctured
yeah.
in Char. Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
think I said Tyrone or something. I was close. So, dude, we got number one offense going against number seven offense. We got number one pass offense going against number five pass offense. What are our predictions here, Corey? What are our predictions? The defenses are much different. Buffalo Bills look like they have a much better defense, but they do seem to always fall. Everyone falls apart against the fucking Chiefs, though. So,
So on paper, the Bills are a much stronger team,
yeah,
but the thing is Kansas City they just do cheat codes by
yeah.
like just being. Dude, here's the thing about the Chiefs: they always suck in like the first like 2 to 3 quarters, and then when the defense is tired, then they're just like, all right, cool, now we're actually gonna play and just score a million touchdowns on you. Like we saw it in the playoffs a couple years ago. We saw it against the Raiders like last week while I was sitting in that airport. They just tire out the defense and then they just start going deep. And the corners are like, dude, I've been covering this fast as fuck guy all game, and now he's sprinting a million miles a minute over there. Like I don't want to do this. Like the
Uh,
Chiefs would be the worst team in football if there was only 3 quarters instead of 4.
I don't know about that. There's sometimes they get off to a hot start. Like, they certainly beat the shit out of the Buccaneers from the very beginning. There was never, like, any doubt that they were going to win that game. Dude, they mauled the Cardinals this year. Yeah, I know what you're saying. They definitely, like, when they need to,
They
they
turn it up.
they can just turn it to this next level that apparently no defense can stop. So
Yeah,
that that
and
is
I
that is
don't.
something that they can do, and I think it's once again because we might be in Patrick Mahomes simulation.
That's when he starts reloading the Madden save.
Yeah, exactly. He just restarts. He's like, never mind. Or he's just like, all right, cool. Well, now I'm gonna turn on my God mode powers.
Well, so I don't know if he like, so it could be that they just tire out the defense, or it could be that their coach is just such, like, he's the real dark wizard, but he's like the white wizard instead of being the dark wizard Belichick. He's like the white wizard. He's like Gandalf, and he just like starts seeing and predicting patterns, and he just like, if we do this, we just win. And then he tells Mahomes, he's like, do this and we win. And Mahomes is like, okay, I'm a muppet, and then he just like does the thing and they win.
Could be. He only has one ring, so I'm not willing to give him wizard status just yet. Corey, I think we're gonna go with the Buffalo Bills here. They are a strong team right now. I think Josh Allen is
Agreed.
playing out of his mind. I kind of want to see them win. I have a friend who's a Chiefs fan who I wouldn't mind seeing a little bit less happy. In this particular regard, he talks piles of shit every time I see him about the Buccaneers, and he talks piles of shit to Taylor about the Packers. You know who you are, Cedric. Anyway,
You know.
yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing the Chiefs lose, Corey. So let's hope the Buffalo Bills can pull this off. Get after him.
I'm giving it to the Bills also.
Hell yeah.
Agreed.
Sports by Compian is unified so far in our predictions. All right. Anyway, next up we got we got the Cardinals and Seattle. Corey, our Arizona Cardinals have not looked great this year, but I do think they are going to be able to get back on track against a rather hot Seattle Seahawks team for no reason. I mean, they're 2-3, so they're not that hot, but you know what I'm saying.
They've been doing decent. Geno
This is,
Smith is out there doing stuff.
that's what I'm saying. Their defense is a mess, but Geno Smith seems like I guess their defense isn't like a super mess, but Geno Smith has been balling, man. It's kind of crazy that Geno Smith is coming into his own, but I think Patrick Murray's gonna figure it out here. Dude got paid like so much money, like they got to figure it out. I think they get back on track here against the Seattle Seahawks in Seattle. What do you think, Cor?
Yeah, I think they got it.
Same.
Because also, isn't DeAndre Hopkins coming off injury reserve soon? Or off suspension soon?
Soon. I don't know if it's this game.
Oh, not this game, but I remember he got popped for PEDs, so he should be back in
Real
it
soon,
soon.
yeah. Well, he had like a 6-game suspension. I think this is 5. Yeah, so this is week 6.
Okay.
Now. So he's back next week.
Okay.
So we said a get right game for the Cardinals. Same thing here for the defending Super Bowl champions, Los Angeles Rams. They get the recently fired Matt Rule Carolina Panthers. So the interim coach over there is a different guy who is not Matt Rule and who Sportsback Company doesn't know the name of, but they're out there. It's a dude. So he's out there trying to coach this team to get a fucking win. Good luck. I think the Super Bowl champions are hungry. They're pushed against a wall. They absolutely need a win. So I think they're going to go off in this game and absolutely handle
Who do the Panthers have throwing for them? The dude from over the Browns, right? Baker Mayfield?
Yeah, who once again also needs to figure it the fuck out or he will be shipped out of town.
Yeah, so Rams for sure.
Rams for sure, and then this is another easy one because the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are absolutely going to demolish these Pittsburgh Steelers who have been searching for answers this year. This is one of the worst Pittsburgh Steelers teams that we've seen in a while. Would love to get your boy Frankie on here so he can tell us what he thinks about it all. I think obviously he's probably happy to see Kenny Pickett take the field. A little fight out of him in that last week as they were getting mauled. You'd love to see it. Personally, I love to see it.
I saw this play, or is like a side by side of the same play, same pass rush, and it's like Mitch Trubisky, and he's there. He sees a pass rush, he like ducks away from it, he like starts scrambling, and then I think he like throws it away or something, and then the same pass rush from Kenny Pickett, standing there, sees the guy coming at him, launches a fucking dime, and just gets destroyed. And I said that to Frankie, and Frankie's like, yeah, that's pretty cool, but, he's gonna get fucking hurt, And I was like, alright, well, that's fair. Like, it's the same thing that everyone was saying about Carson Wentz, where he, like, puts his life on the line for every play, and it's kind of like, well, you are the starting quarterback. Maybe, like, don't die for every play. But it was still cool to see him, like, stand and deliver like that.
Well, I think, like, running out of the pocket isn't necessarily safe either. It's not like you're not.
Right.
It's not like they're not going to try to tackle you out there.
So, it's like, oh, he's out of the pocket. Keep him safe.
That's what I'm saying. It's like I'm sure Peyton Manning ate his shots in the pocket all the time too. Like you just gotta stand in the pocket and deliver sometimes. I think it's a safer move.
I think it's the difference
of
throw it like
on your own line,
throw the ball or like tuck with it and then just kind of take the sack, but like you're not exposing your ribs to like a 300-pound man.
I guess it's football, dude.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But I guess I see what he's saying, trying to keep him alive for the future. Either way, Pittsburgh Steelers are going to get had here. Fucking another game for the Buccaneers. We need a good game after fucking last week, dude. Let's just blow those guys out and let it not even be close. I fucking hope so, because it's been ridiculous, Corey. It's been ridiculous. That last game should not have been so fucking close. It should not have
Dude,
come down to
fun.
that bullshit Grady Garrett fucking passenger fucking roughing the passer call. It shouldn't have come to that, man. It's ridiculous. Sorry, what were you
Dude,
gonna say?
but I saw this stat of like every team's like distribution of passes. Dude, Leonard Fournette has 20% of your passing targets. Like he is your leading receiver.
And no rushing yards. No rushing yards. No rushing game to speak of. And then we're just checking down to fucking Leonard Fournette. It's the most frustrating offense to watch, dude. We have enemies, we have weapons just bristling at the fucking wazoo. And we're just like, every play like, throw it to Leonard. Run it to Leonard. Okay. Throw it to Leonard. Punt it. It's like, dude, what the fuck are we doing? You're the worst offensive coordinator of all time, Brian Leftwich. God, he fucking sucks. Anyway, Baltimore Ravens at the New York Giants, Corey. How do we feel about this one? What do we think is going to happen?
I think Baltimore finally figures it out. Like they keep losing by like the tiniest margins. I think they don't lose because it's the Giants.
It's interesting because everyone has been picking against the Giants. I don't think Green Bay is as good as everyone's saying, so I think I agree with you. I think Baltimore's going to figure it out of this game. This is these are two very good defenses. You can see it seems like they're tied for third or something.
Yep.
This is an impressive. These are both
Hey,
pretty good teams. This should be a good game.
so the Giants, they had that like first round draft pick that fucked up his knee in the preseason. Is that dude out for the season? Has he returned yet? Do you know?
Yeah,
I think
I saw him playing last week, which made no sense to me because I thought he like tore something. It was going to be out for like a long time, but
champion.
I definitely saw him playing. Right?
Okay, good for him.
Yeah, I think he's back. Hey,
Because, dude, you know what I was thinking about is Chase Young. Chase Young is still out like 2 years later.
Mr. Kayvon Thibodeau himself.
Kayvon Thibodeau.
I gotta stop this fucking
But
video.
Chase Young is still out, right? He tear his ACL in like 2020?
No, it was last year. But yeah, I think
Was it last year?
yeah, you're right.
Okay.
He's still out. I think he's
Yeah, because I was like, I haven't heard from that kid in a minute, and then I like started googling like what the fuck happened to him, and all I found was some news articles from 2020 where it's like, yeah, no, he fucked up his knee, he's out, and I was like, oh, okay, fair enough.
2021. I think
2021 could be, yeah.
maybe he tore it both years. No, he hasn't even.
No, I mean, there's no way he's back-to-back tears.
Anyway, yeah, I think he's still injured. But the thing is, man, some people like set these crazy standards for ACL tears. They're like, why aren't you back already? It's like, well, I mean, I tore my ACL, so.
Dude, like everybody talking piles of shit about Keenan Allen not coming back from his injury. Whenever they're like, this guy literally got shot and he's back before you. It's like, all right, well, Keenan Allen's old. Give him some time to recover.
Right. Hey, you want to hit us with a quick non-sponsor sponsor before we finish this up here?
I sure do, Steven.
Well,
Now, if you're like me and you had 40 hours worth of travel because you missed 2 flights due to airlines not coordinating their shit and due to some screens just not giving you the right information you need, chances are you have a cold when you get home and you're going to be dying.
Right.
But if you want to slightly shrink the time that you're dying, there is Gex. Wait. Gex. Gex. He's the magic. He's black magic. You drink it, and then you feel better. It has piles of vitamin C, I think. They have Gex Day, or Night, which I just showed you. They have Gex Day. So, you can chug this all day, and then at nighttime, whenever you're like, I want to go to sleep, and I don't want to wake up 5,000 times because I keep coughing up a lung,
right.
You take the night one, and then all of a sudden, bing, oh my god, it's daytime. This is crazy. And then you go about your day chugging yet more Gex Day. And then it's a vicious cycle of you giving these people money until you're better.
This sounds beautiful.
It's great. It's also super cheap.
Wow. How nice.
It's like 50 cents a thing.
And for those of you not in Costa Rica who can't buy Gex, because I don't even know if it's available, maybe some Mexican stores have it. There's other stuff, you can take as well for your cold, like I think they have like the severe flu ones you can drink. But also, if you happen to do
No,
Costa Rica,
just Gex.
stack up on
No,
the
if
Gex.
it's not Gex, it
Buy
doesn't
like
fucking
boxes of
work.
it. Put it in your suitcase.
Fly to Costa Rica, get a bunch of Gex, put it in your suitcase, fly away with it.
Or get like one of those huge boxes and just get it shipped to you, of just full
Yeah,
of Gex.
and then you be the black market Gex dealer. Anytime someone gets sick, you're like, hey, you want some Gex?
Dude,
you gotta have like the hoodie, and you like open the flap like, hey, what's some Gex? I got day and I got night Gex.
Telling you, a little importing and exporting business. But anyway, I think we're
Why
both
not?
going to take the Baltimore Ravens for this one against the Giants, dude. We're going to doubt the Giants till they beat someone real, which they've beat some people, but we'll see if they can handle Lamar Jackson, who is
It's just,
also,
yeah, it's the Ravens. The Ravens are good. It's not that the Giants are bad. It's that the Ravens are good.
yeah, and Lamar Jackson's played good this year. Like he's not the reason they've lost a couple games.
He's out there looking for a contract. Of course he's going to play good.
Yeah. Meanwhile, a team that hasn't been playing very well is the Cincinnati Bengals. But I do think they're going to get back on track against an absolute garbage organization known as the New Orleans Saints.
Well, so what the Saints do last week, where your man Tannehill just fucking like put the team on his back and just ran into the end zone with it.
Taysom Hill?
Oh yeah, Taysom Hill. My bad.
I don't know.
Didn't he have some? I don't really. I remember hearing these stats,
he
but
had a
like
big game. I forget who they played against. Frankly, Sportsman Compian doesn't want to talk about the accolades. I gotta stop referring to myself in third person like a weirdo. But seriously, like, we don't care about the fucking garbage organization known as the New Orleans Saints. Fuck them. I think Cincinnati Bengals are gonna get back on track in New Orleans and get out of here 3-3. What do you think, Cor?
the Bengals, yeah, I agree. The Bengals are going to turn it around.
Let's go, baby.
They're a little confused right now, but they're just a little hungover. They're still Gatorade in hand, trying to figure out what they want to do with their day.
Right.
But they're waking up. You know, they've puked a few times. They're starting to rally.
Yeah.
They got it under control.
I think Joe Cool's gonna pull it together.
They're just dealing with the Super Bowl hangover is all. Same as the Rams.
This is a pretty good game right here. Well, I would say that if Miami Dolphins weren't down to what their third quarter
string.
Is Tua allowed to play ever again? Has social media decided that Tua can no longer take the field? Social media is like.
Social media is really worried about your boy Tua.
We have decided, Tua, it would be best if you retired. He's like, I'm like in my third year. They're like,
no, Tua. Now you're finally good. Go retire, Tua. Get out of here.
You had a couple good games. They'll remember you for that. Go ahead, buddy. It's all done now.
No, so I think he's cleared for next week, is what I heard.
Okay.
So not this week, and I think Teddy Bridgewater also concussion protocol, so they got a third stringer in there. So probably the Vikings, to be honest. If you got a third stringer behind the helm.
Oh, 100%. No, we're taking the Vikings for this one. I gotta say, I mean, you never know that. I like Josh McDaniels a lot, but his defense doesn't look like they're playing super great. And the Minnesota Vikings are just playing, I don't know, complimentary good football right now. Kirk Cousins.
They're good.
Kirk Cousins is doing Kirk Cousins type things. This is a 12 p.m. game, so he'll be fine.
They got weapons. They're fine. Yeah. It's not prime time, exactly. He just can't handle the pressure.
Apparently. Hey, man, I feel him on that, though, dude. I feel him on that.
Did you know Carson Wentz is 7-0 on Thursday Night Football?
What?
Carson Wentz has never lost on Thursday Night Football.
That's insane. Dude, Carson... Like, also, I listen to the Pat McAfee show all the time, so he in particular is always casting shade at your boy Carson. He's so mad. He's so mad at him from the time when they're in Philly. But man, it's like everybody just throws so much shade at that guy. I don't think he's that bad, but I mean, he might be proving me wrong though, dude. Like he's having a rough time over there with the Commanders again.
Dude, he seems like he does just like a pile of drugs. He just reaches into like 1,000 pockets, just grabs a bunch of stuff and shoves it in his face. Sometimes that combination of drugs turns him into Superman. Sometimes that combination of drugs gives him a QBR of 2.5. Like you're rolling the dice with my man.
Dude, I fucked up my wrist really bad yesterday. Don't know when, don't know how, but like it hurts to do anything with it now. The worst part of it, like, it is so hard to grind weed with this old grinder and this terrible weed I have from fucking one of these guys. Fucking, it's a rough day. Like, how are you supposed to grind with a bad wrist? Very painful, let me tell you.
Swap hands. Hold with this hand, grind with this hand.
No, it's quite, it's not really working. Very sad, dude.
Get a shitload of super glue the bottom to your desk, and then just grind with one hand.
I don't hate the idea of that, except for the getting the super glue and grinder off afterwards. You know,
Mm-hmm. Quitter talk, Steve. Quitter talk.
you're not wrong. All right, Corey.
Um,
Jacksonville Jaguars. Sorry, what do
I
you
don't
got?
know, man. They're both bad.
I know this is
It,
interesting.
it's
This is
it's
interesting.
like a snail racing a turtle.
We gotta. Oh, fuck.
I think
I
Colts.
actually don't think the Jaguars are that bad. I think they've had a couple bad weeks here. Oh shit.
I think Colts.
Yeah,
I
it's gotta be
mean,
the Colt. No, you know what? Jonathan Taylor's out for this one.
oh, is he? Oh, then yeah, Jacksonville.
Yeah, let's take Jacksonville. Let's go crazy. Let's be risky on this
They're
one.
they're they're missing their one player, so well, I shouldn't actually say that. They had 5 Pro Bowlers last
No,
season,
like I think they're
so
gonna be. They're gonna
one
have.
of their 5 players.
But their offense definitely hasn't been figuring it out so far. I mean, then again, they are 14 passing. Anyway,
They got that dude Pittman, who's pretty good.
yeah, I'm starting him in fantasy. I hope he figures it out. And they get drafted a rookie, Alex something or another. So they got opportunities. They got stuff. They could happen, dude. But we're taking Jacksonville
Dude,
for
you
this
know
one.
what's fucking hilarious? I saw this the stat from. All right, so shout out to what the fuck stats on Instagram. They got some really random shit that they put out there. But the Giants threw a touchdown pass to one of their linemen who had just come off IR, and it's like since they had a I forget what the kid's name was because obviously he's not an impact player, but like they drafted a wide receiver in the first round, and they paid what's his name, Kenny Galladay or Gollop, something like that.
Holiday, yep.
Yeah, they paid that dude 70 million. Since they paid that dude 70 million and drafted this one dude first overall, this lineman has more touchdown receptions than both of them combined with one. It was like the
Oof.
most savage stat ever. I was like, damn, take
Oof.
that.
Oof.
Let me see if I can find it because I saw it this morning.
No, I mean I believe you. It sounds legit. So Jacksonville Jaguars are gonna go ahead and scrape out this victory. Is what we're saying, Core?
I think so. I think they actually have a little bit of running game.
And I think the Green Bay
All right, so
Packers.
here we go. Since the Giants signed Kenny Galladay to a 70+ million dollar contract and drafted Cardanius Tooney in the first round, their left tackle has more receiving touchdowns than both those two combined.
Stop. But you know what? I don't like that Tooney kid already. Like I heard him whining about not getting the ball last year, and then like his hair looks stupid, and he hasn't done much in this league to be whining about anything. I don't like him.
I don't like people with dumb hair. I just don't see why you have to have dumb hair.
I'll give you a chance if you have dumb hair, but you're good or you're just funny and you're cool. Like CD Lamb has had some dumb hair since he came into the league, but I like his smile.
Yeah,
But I like his smile, so he seems like an
CD,
okay guy. But
CD is pretty cool.
but this clown Toonie like has a stupid looking face too. I don't know. I guess he does have a stupid looking face. But most importantly, the whole whining about not getting the ball as a rookie, like shut the fuck up, dude. So yeah,
Yeah,
I instantly disliked him, and he hasn't done anything to prove me wrong since then. The stat not helping his case. Anyway, dude.
yeah.
Green Bay Packers are receiving the New York Jets. I'm surprised to see the New York Jets here at 3-2, as are I imagine many people are. But I think they're about to be 3-3, right? Aaron Rodgers has got to get back on track against the visiting New York Jets.
You would hope so
Do I hope
because like I
so? I
get
mean,
that.
I like a lot of Packers fans, but do I hope so? I mean, they're in our conference, so not necessarily no.
Well, I'm just saying like he yeah, like he's the two-time MVP. He can't. It's not even his fault. It's his receiver's fault. But
Yeah.
I think they probably make it happen. I think the Packers bring it home because at the end of the day, the Jets are on a hot streak, but it's still the Jets. Like, is it who is it? Joe Flacco is over there throwing. Like,
No, I think they got Zach Wilson back.
oh, do they?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's have a look.
Either way, I think the Packers get this.
Yeah, I think the Packers will get this too. I hope you're keeping track of all these picks, right, Core? Totally right.
Totally, bro. I got all in the brain vault.
Fantastic. All right, so the Browns with the fourth offense. That's surprising to me. But anyway, they are at 2-3, which is probably very disappointing for Cleveland fans because they've been playing pretty good. So I mean, they're the second rushing team in the NFL. They're
I
receiving
still
the Patriots who demolished the poor little fucking Detroit Lions last week.
Yeah, that was rough.
Cooper, a friend of the show, texted and was like, the Packers are back. I mean, yeah, it's not the Packers, the Patriots.
Patriots.
Patriots are back. I'm like, all right, Cooper, get excited.
Dude, I still miss Amari Cooper though. It's so sad that we got rid of him. Like if we were gonna cut someone, we should have cut fucking what's his name?
Gallup.
Ezekiel Elliott. Like I know that he's the poster child, but like Pollard's better. And we got rid of like Amari Cooper, who was our wide receiver number one. Like CD's now stepping into that role, but Cooper was that guy, and you see he's still that guy in Cleveland because he's fucking tearing shit up.
Yes, I agree.
But anyways, I still wish Cooper all the best, and I hope that he does some great things over here with your man Jacoby Brissett. And they are. Yeah. They are doing great things, and I'm happy for him.
But are we taking them to beat the Dark Wizard as he visits their home?
I don't think so. I think the Patriots got this.
I think the Patriots are going to pull this off. Moving on, we got the 49ers visiting the Atlanta Falcons. Now, obviously, for myself, I always like to see the Falcons lose, simply because they're in my division. That's not true, actually. I don't always like to see the Falcons lose. But in this particular situation, I'm not even sure. I wouldn't mind seeing the 49ers lose either. I do think the 49ers
I think San Francisco got it.
Yeah, I think they're going to win this one. Although
they just have a dominant defense.
Atlanta really needs to win this one. So
they're not going to, though.
They're not going to, but it won't be Artie Smith's fault, or Arthur Smith's fault. I think he's a pretty good coach over there. I think they need to be patient. Don't fucking fire him like fucking idiots. But I think he's...
Who's starting for them? Do they have that guy Ryder?
They still got Mariota, bro.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
They drafted Ryder.
I mean, that makes sense.
But they're starting Mariota, and he hasn't been terrible. He hasn't really done much. Most of their offense is running the ball.
Makes sense. So, have that rookie sit behind him for a year, see what's good. You don't want to throw him into fire. Like,
100%.
I feel like that fucks people up.
All right, dude. Well, we have come to the end of this slate. There is a beautiful NFL Sunday ahead for these fine folks who have tuned in for this Sports by Compian slate here. Would you like to send us out with nice little lyrics?
Oh, yeah. So, I have here from Demon Hunter, I'm a stone. So, it goes, I am a stone, unaffected, rain held down onto me.
Can you like, deliver that, dude?
I'm not going to sing it.
Yeah, come on. This is like just sounding like a lecture right now.
Well, it's more of a spoken thing anyways. Like, he's not even really singing it. You've ruined it, Steven.
Sorry.
Ruined the whole process.
Sorry.
Alright, so it is, I am a stone, unaffected, rain held down onto me, flesh and bone, unaffected, your fool I will not be. Boom.
Sports by Compian out.